Hey, I'm Andrew, alongside Marissa, and welcome again to another edition of the Dugout podcast. So, nice to see you.
Sure.
It's been a while. It has been far too long. I promised viewers that we did not plan this
It's true,
coordination.
We've
It
been
just
busy. Oh, you
happened.
mean the colors?
Yeah, many colors, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we didn't plan to be
Blue
gone
is
for
a
so long either.
fantastic color. Just want to say.
We didn't mean to be gone for so long either. Like you said, blue is a fantastic color, but it's all about the crest that's on the shirt. And since none
Oh
of us,
my gosh! If
since none of us is wearing Chelsea,
I
but
have known.
I'm sporting a Phoenix Commerce shirt, up and on, might I add. Yes. So when it's in Commerce colors, blue is a fantastic color. Blue is the color. Commerce is the
Do
name.
not even.
We're
Do
all
not
together.
Even, do not even. Do not even.
And winning is our
Oh
aim.
my god.
Should I continue? So
Please
cheer us on through the sun and rain. Commerce. Commerce is our name. Whoop, whoop. All right, up and on.
Lord, I hope this video don't get that long because you just totally copyright infringed on its own.
On which song? I made it better. I improved it. There, sometimes the cover is better than the original. That was a very, very good
I
cover.
apologize to all Chelsea fans for that, whatever that was.
Anyhow, that was splendid. That's what it was. Anyhow, let's get to it. We have 3 topics to get through this afternoon. So we're gonna start with this Saturday is the FA Cup final. A repeat of last year's final.
Unfortunately.
City versus Manchester United. And yeah, thoughts on the game. Saturday, 10 o'clock, Eastern kickoff.
10 o'clock? As in our time?
Our time, yeah. 10 o'clock our time.
That's
it should be 3
unusual?
o'clock. No. 3 o'clock UK time.
Okay. Thoughts? I don't have thoughts. I have hopes. I just want City to win so that Chelsea will be in Europa League. Because, Man United need humbling.
Do they?
They do.
They haven't been true enough.
Honestly, I expect City to win, but football is playing day. You never know what Manchester United you're gonna get. But I expect City to win. I think I actually saw a headline of a video. I didn't watch it, but I kind of agree that it's kind of been a disappointing season for City. By their standards, I think they would have expected more, especially with the Champions League. But having an unprecedented treble last season, it was always going to be hard for them to replicate that. So I think, in a way, of course, they're happy with their league title, but I definitely think they will want more, and I think they want that FA Cup to do a domestic double for sure.
Okay.
So that's my thought.
True. I'm hoping as well. I'm not hoping for City to win. I don't have a horse in this race, so I'm not backing anybody. What I am hoping for though is for a competitive fixture. Just an enjoyable game. A fantastic cup tie. So I'm hoping that City does not blow United out of the water. Obviously, I'm not hoping that United win either, but I'm just hoping that City does not run away with it. That it is compelling in some shape or form. I mean, really, there's no universe or no realm of possibility where I feel as if United has a substantial chance to win. But football is a strange game.
Very strange.
And on this FA Cup run, United have had their fair share of luck, right? In certain moments.
Liverpool and Coventry spring to mind.
Spring to mind, exactly. So, you know how cup runs go. Momentum is important.
Yeah.
To touch on what you said about City and their season, I guess, in terms of if you look at the overall performances, they haven't been as imperious as last season, for example. But I still think it's been a good season. It's been a historic season with the 4th successive title win, first ever English team to do that. So,
first ever male English team to do that.
Oh, a women's team did that before?
Yes, Chelsea women just won their 5th consecutive.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what's that, but
I wasn't trying to clap that loud, but
okay. I understand.
Right. Kudos to Chelsea. Kudos to City for that achievement. And yeah, if they win the FA Cup again, that is a marvelous achievement.
It is.
So, if I had to give a scoreline prediction, I we'll go for maybe like a 3-1 City win.
Yeah, that's what I would think too, to be honest. But as I said, football is funny, you never know.
Yeah.
You know, Man United have a lot to play for in terms of it's their only chance of Europe next season because they finish 8th, so they're completely out of it. So I think they will be sufficiently motivated, but we just got to see if that motivation actually translates to a performance on the pitch.
When you say sufficiently motivated, you see, that's a problem for me because, like, for me, I don't even think that, they need motivation. This is the same team we lost in the final last year against is City. It's a chance to take a trophy off of City. It's a chance that you're also aware. And yes, Europe is as an opportunity at qualifying for Europe. But considering the season that Man United have had, I think it's been their worst PL season since the inception of the Premier League. It has been their worst
points
season.
And position, right?
And position.
Okay.
They have a -1 goal difference, for crying out loud. And it's been their worst season since 1990-91. So
gosh, we were born that season.
Yeah, it has been a poor year, and I feel as if they really need to, even if they don't win, please don't let it be a narrative that they were completely outclassed, as has been the case in recent years. Like there've been games where they've lost, but not a big margin, but just because City, the sheer dominance, kept the ball, might never really create any clear-cut chances. The narrative has been they've been outclassed. Hopefully it won't be that type of game on Saturday. But coming to our sub point on this whole matter of FA Cup preview, does a win, if Man United happen to win the FA Cup final, in your opinion, would that go a long way in Ten Hag keeping his job next season?
I'm not even sure he's going to get sacked regardless, though. I'm not getting the sense that Man United want to sack him. I mean, the manager market isn't that great, but apparently someone didn't tell Chelsea that. So I'm not sure. I've heard from, I guess, some of their fan content that the owners kind of acknowledge the injuries and stuff like that. But I think injuries have been a convenient excuse for Man United. And I think, people make parallels between, he finished 3rd and won a trophy last season, and then this season they finished 8th. But I feel like Man United and Ten Hag as a manager is probably somewhere in between. We had a big debate last season about Man United and the Ten Hag. And I think this season has kind of shown up the fact that you were right in a lot of what you were saying about Man United and Ten Hag. So I don't know. I say that to say that I think Ten Hag's performances is probably between the good of last season and the bad of last season. It's probably in between. And I just don't know that any of us are interested in sacking him just yet. I just don't know. So I definitely think that if he wins the FA Cup, they won't sack him. But I can't say that if he loses, they will sack him either. So I don't know. What do you think?
A penny for my thoughts. Right. So a couple things. The precedent has already been set. Let's not forget that Louis van Gaal, a more accomplished manager than Ten Hag,
that is true,
finished 5th, won the FA Cup, and was sacked immediately after the trophy presentation. If that late.
Yeah, I remember.
So that has happened. So I'm not sure. It's not like the yesteryear where the FA Cup a trophy, like the FA Cup would save a job necessarily at one of these big clubs. That's first and foremost. Like you said, the injuries have been a convenient excuse. I mean, a lot of teams, if you look at the season and how it's panned out, a lot of teams have had injury issues.
Yeah.
Liverpool had injury problems. Chelsea has had injury problems. Newcastle,
Brighton, City went through a spell where
they missed De Bruyne and Haaland for a period. So I mean, injuries are a part of it. No, don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound hypocritical because I know that sometimes injuries can derail your team's expectation and or capacity to achieve what the goals would have been. That is fair. That could happen. But I think the one thing that we should not overlook when it comes to Man United is the fact that yes, they've had injuries, but their general play has been
awful,
dull.
Yeah.
There've been many games where they haven't seemed to have had an effective plan or strategy. Apart from the odd game where teams allow them to transition, and so it hasn't been a great watch. And we're still bemoaning the fact that Ten Hag has been there for 2 seasons now, and there still isn't a clear and obvious pattern of play that seems to be progressive. Put it that way. So I think the one thing that's going to come against him as well is the fact that this new entity, Ineos, that are in control of football operations, they came and found him. He's not their guy. So they're quite entitled to look for their own representative, someone who, identifies with their brand of football. So for me, if he wins the FA Cup, right, and keeps his job, he's lucky. If he loses the FA Cup and still keeps his job, he's lucky. Now, you mentioned the manager market, and I don't necessarily agree that it is, because I feel as though it's kind of like fluctuating, it's always changing. And I believe Man United is still an attractive job that even if someone is in a job, they can still be enticed with the right proposal.
Fair enough.
To leave that job and try to come to Man United. So, go ahead. Sorry.
What I will add as a caveat too is that I think that if he keeps his job, regardless of what happens with FA Cup, I think if by November, December, and Man United are still playing poorly, he will be sacked though. I don't think he will last the year if Man United continue along this path.
Okay.
For sure.
But here's my thing.
Why would you keep him and then sack him?
No, I mean, that's happened before too. Because I gave Rodgers money to spend and sack him for Klopp. All those years ago. So I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying that as saying, for example, you're wrong. What I'm saying is that, what's the logic behind it? Because you expect a Man United will go into the market for players. Now I know that the structure at Man United behind the scenes is changing in terms of some sort of different procedure in terms of how targets are identified and vice versa. So I don't expect Ten Hag to have all the necessarily final say. But the coach or whoever the manager is should be a part of the discussion. And I believe that any player you sign, you're signing with the idea that they can fit into the framework of what the current coach or the coach going forward will, be trying to implement. So, if, let's say Ten Hag isn't their guy, and he isn't the guy that they want to go forward with, then why would you need to, keep him there, buy players, and then to start, mid-season and then start over with a caretaker or a fresh coach? I don't know if that's the best way to go. I think, make the decision now, give yourself a summer to evaluate, do a proper, research process of who your candidates are, and then try to see if you can get the number one candidate for the job. Another thing that I want to mention as relates to this as well is, like I said, the coaching situation is kind of changing. Tuchel is available, Conte is still available. There are coaches that are available.
Sure.
And then there are some bright young coaches that are available as well if you want to go that route. So, or that would be available for Man United. Let's be real. So I think that Ten Hag would be very, very fortunate if he remains in the post over the summer.
I agree. So I guess we'll see how it goes. So you have another big cup game. When is that? Next Saturday?
Yes, June 1st.
June 1st.
Yeah. The Champions League final.
Something's happening June 1st. Oh, cricket starts.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Champions League final, June 1st. Dortmund made it.
Yeah. Your prediction was right.
And Real Madrid. Not surprising that they made it, but it was very dramatic the way they made it. 2 late goals against Bayern Munich.
Right.
So what are we thinking? A straightforward victory for Real?
Is possible. I mean, Real is just really, really strong. And if I was to use a comparison, almost, like the first time Liverpool went to the final against Real in Kiev, we were similar to Dortmund in terms of, that was our first season back in Champions League for a number of years. And it was a surprise that we ended up there. But having gone there, we were underdogs, obviously. But I felt like we had a chance, and I felt we had a significant chance because of the front three, which would have been Mane, Bobby, and Salah. No, not getting anything in the game, but just before ball is kicked, you look at the team and you say, all right, Real trump Liverpool in every other department, but the forward three, if they can click, that might be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the Dortmund team, and I'm saying to myself, okay, again, Real trumped them in almost every department, if not every department.
Yeah.
Where can I look at a team and say, for example, if this clicks, they might got a chance?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it. And it's not to say that they won't play well, but I just think Real will be too strong.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I would like, unlike you and the FA Cup final, because I really would like Man United to get a trophy. I want to see a competitive game in the final, but I don't know. And this is no disrespect to Dortmund, because Dortmund have done really well. And I think they've really done it on the back of resolute defending. But can you do that for 90 minutes against Real Madrid? Like, Bayern tried it, and Real Madrid find a way. They always find a way. So, like you said, not only pound for pound, man for man, they trump Real Madrid, they trump Dortmund, but also just because this is just their competition. They're just, the mentality surrounding the Champions League is just.
And I think they've had. It's their competition. They're over history, the most successful team. You can't deny that. That's a fact.
Yeah.
If you look at the games individually, they've had some luck along the way, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, they've earned. I mean, you make your own luck. Play that way. Like for example, the semi-final against Bayern. Bayern had like after Bayern went in front, and even before they went in front with Davies' goal, Bayern had a lot of promising situations, and it almost felt to me like Bayern was Liverpool in disguise this season, or last month, where you have chances to kill the game, and make the wrong decision, and you know, Real Madrid stay in it, and then crazy couple minutes. So I mean, you make it one luck, but yes, it's their competition. I don't know. I'm saying, or can the Dortmund keeper have a blinder? I don't think that'll be enough. Can Hummels, you know, hold the fort. Can't see it being a shutout. Is Dortmund midfield going to be able to contain the Real midfield? Can't see that either. And then up front, I think Dortmund might be valued for a goal or two, but it's, you know, they're outmatched in every department. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if there's ever time for football to be a funny or strange game,
it's true. Definitely next Saturday, yeah.
That's, you know, Saturday after next will be the time.
Yeah. So I guess we see how it goes.
So score prediction?
2-0 Real Madrid.
I'll go 3-1 again. There was a point, sorry to go back, but there was a point that I wanted to make that I forgot to make.
About your second favorite side, Man United?
Yes, but very pertinent. I think you would agree with me. Sorry for this, you know, going, you know, stepping back for a minute. But another reason why I think Ten Hag's job might be in trouble is some of the outlandish things that he said. I forgot to mention this the first time around. But in addition to the injuries and the constant lamenting of injuries, he also in recent weeks said, or before the season ended, said that, you know, Man U were one of the most entertaining or attractive teams to watch.
Dynamic was
his word. Okay. But I mean, like, for who? The Man United detractors? You know, like people that enjoy Man United feeling. When you make such statements, it's almost like you're clutching at straws. Definitely. And it doesn't seem like you're... It's almost like you're a bit deluded.
I was just going to say, it sounds delusional, honestly.
And that is not a recipe for someone willing to give you a chance. So I believe, personally, I believe the decision might have already been made. And like you said, I think the only thing that might save him is if Man U deem that we can't get who we really want now.
Yeah. I mean, even when you look at, I mean, of course, you can't judge a side just on goals scored. But I just thought I'd look at it compared to everybody else above them. I think out of the teams above them, even West Ham scored more goals than Man United.
Talking about even West Ham.
I mean, I say even because West Ham literally finished below United. So that was where I was basing it on.
Right.
Crystal Palace scored the same amount of goals. I mean, Crystal Palace had a fantastic end season, yes. But when you look at the goals that Man United have scored, it's comparable to Luton Town scored 52 goals this season. Man United scored 57. Luton got relegated.
Whoa.
I mean, when you look at the rest of the teams in the top 8, City scored 96, Arsenal 91, Liverpool 86, Villa 76, Spurs 74, Chelsea 77, Newcastle 85, and you have Man United 57. So the closest that they, and as I said, you can't just base it only on goals scored.
Right.
But when you get made that sort of comment, the first thing I'm going to think, okay, let me see. Is it that they're just scoring loads of goals and just conceding loads of goals?
Creating chances.
Exactly. Like, it's just, I had, when I first, because I don't know if it was you that brought it to my attention, but when I first saw the quote, I was like, nah, this is just a meme. This is just a gaff. But to see that he actually said it honestly blew my mind.
Said it with his chest as well.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so sorry again for going back to that, but I just wanted to mention that since I forgot to mention it the first time around. Yeah, so we have a 3-1 prediction for the FA Cup final in the favor of City from both of us.
Yeah, and then 2-0 for me.
3-1, right. I'll give Dortmund a goal.
Yeah.
All right, so now we are at our fun part, our end of season awards.
Is it funny?
We don't have the diagrams this time. Unless retrospectively we send them to our producer, but to put in. But team of the season. You want to go first, or you want me hit first? I'll go first since you said that you haven't.
Yeah, I have already. But now that you tell people that, it's gonna seem like I'm just mocking you. So maybe I should go first.
All right, go ahead. Sure.
Yes, maybe I should go first. Goalkeeper. We had this debate last season. I remember. I don't think I had started the game, but I felt like because he won the Golden Glove, he should have been on my bench, and we had that whole debate. Goalkeeper. I feel like I'm tempted to go with David Raya because of the clean sheet.
Yeah, he won Golden Glove.
Yeah, but honestly, has there been any goalkeeper that has stood out really? Vicario started the season really well, but then he had his struggles as well. All right, so I'll just stick Raya and goal.
Stick Raya and goal.
You want to do it back and forth? Okay, go ahead.
You stick Raya and goal.
Yeah.
I went with Vicario.
Okay.
I felt as though he had a very, like you said, started the season well. I think he had a very consistent performance in his first year in the Premier League.
He conceded 61 goals though.
It's Tottenham, not even the Premier League. And they had their own defensive issues.
Okay,
let's be fair. And Arsenal had the best defense.
That's fair. Mm-hmm.
So, but I still felt, because I was thinking, I thought about Raya as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was mostly down to Saliba and Gabriel.
Because I still felt they had some games where to me Raya looked a bit shaky.
Yeah.
He got away with that one there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Where Arsenal were punished as a result.
Yeah.
So I thought in terms of, okay, a keeper that has looked commanding, has made good saves, for example, hasn't really made any errors as led to goals that I can remember.
True.
Vicario
that is true. Mm-hmm.
So I went with Vicario.
No, Onana? Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't start
You're dangerous. And listen, after we just berating Man United for their worst PL season, right? It would have been very astonishing that a Man met this team.
All right, right back.
Mm-hmm.
Right back is tough.
No, it ain't.
But I think I'll go with Ben White.
Ben White? Okay. I went with Trent Alexander.
I know you was gonna go with Trent.
No, but Trent had a good season this year.
How can you go with Trent when Trent was like Ben White for me was Mr. Consistent for Arsenal, injury wise, availability wise. Trent had his injuries.
Trent went with an injury, but in terms of like being influential, in terms of detaining games for Liverpool, creating chances, scoring some very key and important goals.
Mm-hmm.
Trent had a really good season.
Right.
I would say from a defensive point of view, because I still think 1 or 2 times he got, he was beaten far too easily.
Mm-hmm.
But I still went with Trent. I thought about Ben White too. He was on the call. He would be my second choice.
Okay, fair enough. Trent would have actually been my second choice too. So similar paths. I was thinking Ryan Vicario. Okay, so we see how it shapes up. Centre back. Whoa. There are a lot of candidates in here.
Okay.
I think it would be hard not to put both Gabriel and Saliba because of the partnership.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the other centre backs in the league that have performed well, I think the guy from Everton, Branthwaite, he had a decent season for Everton. Everton actually didn't, before it was remote. Yeah, Everton didn't do bad defensively actually. Okay. Everton only conceded 51 goals, which is less than Villa, Spurs, Chelsea, United, Newcastle, West Ham. They actually did well. Everton's problem was scoring, but they did very well defensively. I think Branthwaite was a good reason for that. I mean, I know Carroll put Pickford in goal for his team this season. I won't go that far because neither of us are his biggest fans.
Right.
But it's hard to look past Gabriel and Saliba for me. I would say there's also a shout for Akanji at City. He's had I find he's not really given a lot of attention.
Right.
You remember when Ruben Diaz first came to City and everybody was raving about him?
Right.
I find Akanji kind of goes under the radar, but I think he's a very good player and very solid player. So yeah, those were my choices, but I think I will go with Saliba and Gabriel solely because of the partnership. They work man half time. They work well as a partnership. I think you take Saliba and you put him in any other defense beside anybody else, he would still perform good well. I'm not sure I can say the same about Gabriel. I think Gabriel thrives because of Saliba, and I think that partnership is key, as I said, to why Arsenal only conceded 29 goals this season. So I will put them as a duo.
Okay.
I know I can hear Van Dijk, and I know who will be your other choice, but I know I can hear Van Dijk.
So my centre back pairing is Saliba,
Saliba and Van Dijk,
Virgil van Dijk. I mean, okay, wait. Anyhow, I'm not gonna let you, discredit my.
But you know what?
My choices.
I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna debate.
That's nothing to sniffle at. Saliba, like you said, all those good qualities. He's been
fantastic. Honestly, fantastic.
Excellent this season.
And I must say, I don't like to give Arteta much credit, but I think Arteta has handled Saliba fantastically well. I remember a few seasons ago when he sent him on loan, a lot of Arsenal fans were annoyed.
I don't think it was Arteta that sent him on loan though. It was other managers before Arteta.
Yeah, but I think his last loan was still under Arteta.
Was it? How long Arteta was at Arsenal? This year, 3?
I think 4.
Year 4, okay. Maybe possible, but I remember Emery loaning him out. And Saliba was a name that we heard a lot about from the time he was in, the Arsenal fan were talking about this guy needs to get a chance.
Because especially I think in that time when David Luiz was playing, they were talking about him and Arteta was at the club.
Right.
But I think Arteta has handled that perfectly well. He brought him back at the perfect time to integrate him, and
I mean, the decision was kind of made for him though, because when the last time Saliba went on loan, I think it was a French club, and he would have been one of the better defenders in League One. So I think to bring him back, send him back on loan again.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah.
After the defense again was suspect, I think it would have been a little bit unreasonable.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so Saliba would have been my centre back choice. I'm Virgil because I felt like Virgil had a good season.
Yeah.
For the most part. You don't think so?
I have nothing to say.
I was to say, give your thoughts.
I just don't see that Virgil van Dijk stood out as much as, like, for me, I would have Branthwaite in there ahead of Van Dijk. I think he has a very good future ahead of him. I know Man United may come knocking for him this summer.
And we'll see what that turns out.
We'll see how that turns out. Yeah, because I remember they did go knocking for Michael Keane too, I think, yeah.
But I mean, not discrediting Branthwaite, right? But I think Virgil, up until Liverpool fell away from each other, Virgil was pretty solid at the back.
Season is played over 38.
But I would still give Virgil a nod. The reason that Virgil gets a nod above Gabriel, and I'm not discrediting what you said about Gabriel and Saliba's partnership, it was a fantastic pairing. They played, especially since January, they played pretty well together. But I don't like Gabriel. I find that Gabriel looks shaky.
Yeah, I that's why I could agree with you. So for instance, let's say Arsenal did concede a limited amount of goals, but if Saliba wasn't in that defense, I don't think I would have included Gabriel.
Because we know what happened last year. Saliba got hurt, and it was Gabriel.
Exactly.
And I think whoever it was next to him.
I think it's just the partnership together as a pair that makes them flourish. So that's where we'll go with that.
But I understand where you went with it, but I mean, hopefully you understand where you went with it. Left back.
Left back is tricky because I feel like left backs in the league
have been scarce.
Yeah, I mean, you could stick Vardiol there, but you wouldn't because he was
in he was like a guaranteed starter over the course of the season.
Definitely won't be sticking Zinchenko there.
Correct.
Robertson for me was too injured.
He missed a large part of the injury.
I think there's a shot for Luka Digne.
For who?
Luka Digne.
Oh, Aston Villa.
Yeah. Udogie from Spurs. He got injured. He got injured about
a couple months ago, maybe.
Can't
remember exactly, but maybe like February, March.
Yeah, maybe around there. I think maybe I'll go with Udogie.
Okay. Same. I went with Udogie as well. His name is written down here.
Yeah, I think. I mean, aside from some horrific challenges against Chelsea and that 4-1 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I felt like he has had a very good breakthrough season and he looks like a real prospect for Spurs, to be honest. I think Spurs have some interesting people back there that I want to... Oh, Van de Ven was another show. At centre back, yeah. But with Van de Ven, Pedro Porro looks okay. Udogie back there. Dragosin looks okay from what I've seen him. Spurs might be building a decent enough defense, but Udogie has been very good this season. I mean, yes, left back has been a position that, hasn't really lit the league alight, I would say, especially at the bigger clubs. But yeah, I think Udogie has been good.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed with his performances. When I saw him, I started the season. I was impressed. So that's why I gave him a nod. Like you said, majority of the bigger clubs, left full backs have been injured or out of form or whatever, And when I thought about left back, I scratched my head for a candidate.
Yeah.
I thought Estupiñán had a good season last year. I'm not so sure about him this year.
Being injured sometimes.
And stuff, yeah. And I didn't watch much of Brighton games either.
That's true.
So, yeah, so that's why I chose to go with Udogie as well.
Okay. So, as usual, I do 4-2-3-1. So, I'm going to do my midfield 2.
Okay. I did the same thing.
Okay. And I think from my memory from last year, I think my midfield 2 is going to be the same as last year. And that would be Rice and Rodri.
Okay.
I think Rice has really took his form from a brilliant last season at West Ham. He started with Arsenal really, really well. Rice is just the type of player that the minimum you get a game is 7 out of 10. Just so reliable, so dependable, and Rodri is Rodri. So yeah, too much Arsenal players in this team. Wait!
You couldn't deny
it. Wait.
I didn't think about that though, but...
Oh gosh, it's 4. Nah, I gotta start. I gotta start with Arsenal love.
I'll be honest.
Gotta start with the Arsenal love. It's not good, Marissa. Snap out of it.
I have the same midfield too.
Okay.
Rice and Rodri. I felt like Rice, like you said, he's a picture of consistency.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say he's a minimum 7 out of 10 every game. Like, to me, it's like an 8.
Yeah.
Plays really well. Does almost everything well.
Yeah.
Receives the ball well.
Popping up with goals now too. More.
Distribution, decent. Positional awareness, decent. Has a rhythm motor, so he's able to get up and down the pitch for 90 minutes. Really fit. And I think he made a substantial difference to Arsenal as well. I think he added a bit of composure and a bit of steel, which aided their title challenge this year. So I will go with Rice. And like you said, Rodri. Rodri has been the best defensive mid in the league over the last 3 or 4 seasons, I believe. So he had to be in. And I think like if you take Rodri out of Man City's team, then I think they're a bit more vulnerable. And he's always fit, always available for the most part. So yeah. I meant Rodri and Marissa as well.
Yeah. So my 3, 2 of my 3 are easy to pick, like from the top of my head.
All right.
That's Foden and Palmer for me. The third no is tricky because as you were talking, I was thinking ahead. I was like, I don't think I should have gone for 2-3-1. I think I should have gone for 2-2-2 because and I think I can change it.
Okay.
So I can have Foden and I can have Palmer as my next 2.
Okay. All right.
And I'll explain why when I choose my next 2.
Okay. All right. So I stick with the same formation.
Okay.
Because I ain't really that much of a stickler, like that.
You understand why I change when I choose my next 2.
No problem.
Yeah. My rationale.
I think there's somebody who obviously wants.
Yeah.
They think deserves to be there. My 2-way players are Palmer and Foden as well. Foden had an exceptional season, and I remember I messaged you. I can't remember what game it was, but I said it to you that Foden has really stepped up.
Yeah, I remember
this season. And again, been on fire, been a picture of consistency. And Man City have had moments where they've been struggling or needed some inspiration.
There. Yeah,
he turned up.
Yeah,
and Palmer was one that I was a little bit not sold on at the start of the season when Chelsea spent the big bucks to get him.
Most people.
But he really stood up to the weight rather, and what impressed me about him is that his hustle. When I mean hustle, I mean like he was not afraid of being standout player in this expensively assembled squad. He seemed to be the one Chelsea player who had a bit of confidence, who had a bit of swagger about him, and basically said that I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to drive this team along. And in a season of sometimes pretty bad performances, he was the one player that was consistent.
Yeah, throughout.
Yeah.
I mean, to end with the most goal contributions for everybody, it was fantastic. But what you said there was exactly what I was thinking. The way he came to Chelsea and was not even afraid to be the main man, not afraid to be like, okay, this is my team. I want to make this my team. It was really impressive. His mentality, to me, has been the most impressive thing. And I'm not going to pretend that I was sold on it either. I thought he was a good player because, I did see bits and pieces of him.
At City, right?
At City. Yeah. Obviously, he didn't really start a lot against him. He didn't play a lot of minutes, but you saw the potential. But I wasn't sure it was 40 million worth of potential.
He had talent.
Yeah.
Couldn't deny he had talent.
You definitely couldn't.
It was one of those cases where like, okay, is he ever going to be a guaranteed starter at City? Or is he? And even when he comes on, you're looking at it and saying, well, okay.
Yeah.
But he got help, City ball dominant.
Yeah.
He can get the ball in attacking areas, close to goal, and so he, and it's not much pressure.
Yeah.
Coming to Chelsea, and especially how, like you said, when he came to Chelsea, what I give him credit for is that Chelsea didn't play well this season, didn't perform well. The other, well, I think Sterling had a good first half of the season, but then faded at the end. But apart from Sterling, for me, Jackson hit or miss. Madrid hit or miss.
Well, Madueke hit or miss.
Madueke, right, correct. Chukwuemeka had injuries.
Yeah, it took a while for Caicedo to really come into his own.
Correct. So when you look, I don't think that he was even, when you bought him, when Chelsea bought him, I don't think that it was like, where he's the main man, he's our main bite for the season. No, he wasn't. But amongst the other star players failing to live up to expectation, I think it would have been easy for him to shy away.
Exactly.
And maybe become a bit, head down.
Exactly.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
He stood up to it. He was a phase.
Like when I saw him pick up the ball to take a penalty, and you think one of his very first games, probably less than 5 games he had played, and he literally went and took up and I'm like, that's impressive to me. Come to this club and you're willing to take on that responsibility. It's honestly fantastic.
And not only that,
impressed.
because Chelsea signed a number of players in summer. So even when he went there, I think for me, I was even thinking again, okay, is he going to establish himself as a guaranteed starter week in, week out? And that was impressive as well, because within 10 games, he's undroppable. He's going to start. He's the one player who cemented the place.
Yeah, for sure. The only time he wouldn't start is if, he was injured.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the reason I changed my formation is because I was thinking about it, and I was like, you had to do your third player. Sorry.
My third player, yes. Right, my center attacking mid. Yeah, my number 10 is Odegaard.
Okay, fair.
Had a good season. He's decent. Not decent. He's a good player, very good player.
I mean, honestly, we saw that when Real Madrid first signed him. I knew he was going to be a special talent, to be honest. And it was one of those players. He was one of those players I was like actually disappointed by Arsenal signing, because I was like, they actually have a player there, in my opinion.
Right, because like if you're at Real Madrid at 16 or 17 in the league,
early,
then you have to be a special talent or have a lot of potential. It was just, for me, it was more like when he went to Arsenal, okay, is he going to actually realize that potential at Arsenal? And again, he's not what you would look for in traditional sense of a captain, but I think his performance is led by example. And like I said, one of Arsenal's shining lights in terms of their attacking play. He's added a bit of grit and graft to his game as well. So it isn't just player, it's also very decent work ethic as well. So I went with Odegaard.
Fair enough. So the reason why I changed my formation is that I felt like whoever I was going to put at number 10, obviously one of my two is Haaland. I mean, you can't leave out the Golden Boot winner.
You could, but
you could
if you want to.
Yeah, you could if you want to, but I didn't want to. I felt like whoever I put at number 10 didn't deserve it more over Ollie Watkins. I think Ollie Watkins has had a fantastic season, not only in terms of scoring goals, but also assists as well. He's played really well for Villa this season. So he's my 2 up there with Haaland.
Okay. I mean, statistically, I can't argue it.
But even his general play, though.
I've watched Ollie Watkins' game. No, I ain't probably going to watch it again. But from what I remember, Ollie Watkins, very, very bad runs, poor decisions on the ball. I'm not an Ollie Watkins fan.
I like him.
If I'm get back, I'm get back. Not Ollie Watkins fan. So I mean, I understand why, and I actually think that statistically, no, because of the numbers. Like I said, I will have to watch. I have to sit down and watch Villa's games more closely to see if I agree. Because, like, for example, I played Aston Villa recently, and I don't think he was that. I don't think he had a good game. I think the guy that came on made an impact. The boy Duran.
Oh yeah, right? He's a nice little player.
I like the look of him too. But like I said, with Ollie Watkins, for me, I find that Ollie Watkins can make bad off the ball runs. And I find that again, some of his general play in terms of knowing when to lay off, knowing when to pass it, where to pass it sometimes. It's suspect. I think Ollie Watkins looks, to me, I think he looks really, really good against mid-table to lower-table opposition.
Okay.
That's me personally.
It's fair.
But I'm not going to dispute the fact he had a good season based on his numbers. I think, and the thing that disappointed me about that is that if I was picking the England squad, I was thinking he wasn't taking him nowhere behind me. But
Kane got a backup, buddy.
Pardon?
Kane got a backup.
Kane has to have a backup, but I ain't taking him.
Who you would taking as Kane backup?
I would take Ivan Toney or Callum Wilson.
Ivan Toney didn't get bit.
I think Ivan Toney, he's not in provisional squad.
I'm not sure you're asking.
I think he's in provisional squad.
Okay. I was more focused on who wasn't in it than who was in it actually.
I think Ivan Toney made a provisional squad.
Okay. He might get cut though.
I agree. That was said. I think that based on Ollie Watkins' numbers,
output.
I think it'd be difficult for Southgate to justify leaving him out.
Okay, that's fair.
So I think Watkins will make the cut. But again, for me, and this is a fact, Watkins hasn't played enough at international level for me to know if he could cut the mustard just yet.
I get you.
So again, but you know what? I can't argue his numbers have been good.
Okay.
That you can't dispute facts.
So who's your striker?
Haaland, that's obvious. When the money is Haaland, you can't let field. Best striker in the Premier League this season. Numbers, and yes, he had a couple games where he missed a couple chances, but who doesn't?
True.
But most of the time he puts them away.
Yeah, it's true.
So
not much difference in our teams. A lot similar.
Not much difference. Yeah.
All right, so you have some awards to give out.
Yes. So
these should be interesting.
Player
of the year.
Before I won't go first on this one, but before
go ahead.
Before you go there, you want to start with players or you want to start with like overachiever and underachiever first?
Sure, let's go there.
Overachiever.
Let's go there.
The team that overachieved, in my opinion,
we'll definitely agree on this one.
I will go with Aston Villa. I think that they had an exceptional season, finishing fourth, qualifying for Champions League. Yeah.
To be fair, 68 points for fourth is very paltry, but it has been mid-70s in the past.
Well, yeah. But okay, I give it that because sometimes normally 75 is B.
Because to me, looking at this table and saying that Chelsea were 5 points away from fourth is just wild, like wild. So that's why you're looking at your points tally. But generally, in terms of performance that you said, they have had a fantastic season. I
didn't expect them to be there.
I did not either. I expected them to be maybe top 6.
Yeah.
Definitely not top 4.
But definitely not top 4. I think, yes, like you said, I think that they were helped by, the fact that Newcastle fell away, Tottenham eventually fell away, couldn't get any consistent run going.
It's true.
United were never in it, and Chelsea didn't deliver or didn't turn up. So I think that they were helped by that, but you can't take anything away from them. And they overachieved for me because I started the season, I didn't have them
in there,
even in the conversation for a Champions League spot.
I agree 100%.
So Emery. Oh, we should also do a manager of the year.
Yeah.
So think about that one, Flake.
That one easy for me though.
But yeah, so I think Unai Emery deserves a lot of credit.
Which is well to me.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree with you with your overachievers. Underachievers.
I have Manchester United.
The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, I'm not going to reiterate what I said before. But yes, their worst season since 1991. And even in my wildest dreams about Man United and their underperformance. I could never have made that up. And you know what's interesting is that despite their worst season ever, they still derail my dreams and aspirations as well. So
well, that's their trophy for this season.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe
if they don't win the FA Cup.
Maybe it is. But I mean, that's not why I picked them. I just think that, Man United if, no, okay, maybe if can happen, but still, Man United if negative goal difference, very, very, and again, and they struggled against most teams. It wasn't at home and away. It didn't really matter either.
Exactly.
And I think you expect better. Even Ten Hag, as much as I think, I did not think that he was a real deal in terms of top level coach that could have competed in this league. And I said that from last season. I'm not thinking, that it'd be this bad.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, they're definitely underachieved for me.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Is you feel like they struggled basically against everybody. That's the thing for me. Like, yeah, I could think about one or two games I would have watched that they were okay. But I think about halfway through the season, we had a conversation where I was telling you, but Man United just playing bad and getting results. Like, and it's not that, they play well at home and they go away and do crap like how Chelsea was doing, but they weren't playing well at all. Like, I think for me, what encapsulates it the most was Sheffield United at home. Like, I'm not one to talk because I dropped points against Sheffield. But they were at Old Trafford and Sheffield weren't dominating them. But the way that Man United were playing is like, who's fighting relegation? And, like, for me, I think it could have been a toss-up between Man United and Chelsea. But I have to go with Man United based on the fact that they finished 8th.
Okay.
8th. 57 goals scored, 58 conceded, 60 points. Playing poorly, a home and away, dropping absolute awful performances almost consistently every week. Definitely them. But as I said, Chelsea was a close second.
And another startling, yeah, because Chelsea was second for me too. But another startling declaration that Erik Ten Hag made was that I believe he said that if you compare Man United this season and last season, this season he thinks that they're better or they have been better.
He is so.
He said that.
Wow.
He said that. If I find the, well, it's been a couple of weeks now, but if I find it, I'll send it back to you.
That's crazy.
But yeah, he said that. So I mean, yeah, they've been poor, and I think again, I started the season when I didn't have them to win the league, but you're thinking, okay, fighting for Champions League qualification again.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Next award
is, let's try Young Player of the Year.
I think that the criteria for this needs to change in the main awards, to be honest. Maybe instead of having Young Player of the Year, because usually you see a lot of young players, especially if they've had fantastic seasons, also being nominated for Player of the Year.
Right.
So I saw a suggestion that maybe it should be like Breakout Player of the Year instead of Young Player. Yeah, Breakthrough Player, because somebody like Cole Palmer, for instance, could be Young Player of the Year and nominated for at least another 3-4 years.
Yes.
And I'm not sure I feel about that.
Yeah. So I've had situations where Rooney, for example, won it back to back. Yeah.
So I think I prefer Breakthrough Player of the Year, but for the purposes of the show, Young Player of the Year. Should I be controversial? I'll be controversial. I'm actually going to switch around what the PL did. So I'm going to say Foden, Young Player, and Palmer Player.
What?
Yes.
I
said what I said.
Okay, fair enough.
I said what I said.
I argue with you. But anyway, the real winner of this award, and I didn't even know, but I knew that Foden won Player of the Year, but I didn't know one
Young Player of the Year. Palmer won it.
Okay, but Palmer was my Young Player of the Year.
Okay.
For obvious reasons. And Foden was my Player of the Year. I don't know why you would want to switch it around. Because there's no way that Palmer had a better season than Phil Foden.
Statistically,
or is a better player. I'll give it down.
It's not about being a better player. It's about who is the Player of the Year.
And his performances were better than Phil Foden's. Because he's the only boy in that. You being controversial.
I can't just go over the grain all the time. We basically on the same path, so I choose something different.
Anyhow, no, we discredit him by words ceremony.
But again, I don't begrudge Phil Foden because for me, player of the year is not only who's the best player, but and that's why I chose Palmer. Palmer has literally been the most, not only had a really good season statistically, but he carried his team. And at times, Phil Foden did carry City, especially when De Bruyne was out. But yeah, Palmer's my player of the year.
Okay, well, Palmer is my young player of the year, and Phil Foden is my player of the year. Now, the last award that we're going to give out is manager of the season.
Unai Emery.
Which I did not think about before I got here. You're going with Unai?
Definitely. And I saw, I mean, I don't like to always make reference to things that I watch, but, I don't want to make it seem as if I bring it out my butt. But I saw something that summed it up perfectly. Unai Emery, when he was at Arsenal, was mocked unmercifully.
I remember.
And disrespected unmercifully. So to see what he has come back to England and done with Villa, he deserves massive respect for what he's done. Because remember where Villa was when he took over? Gerrard left that side.
Boy. Couldn't help it.
The worst thing about my mom, you did skinny you tea. Gerrard left that side in a mess. Let's face it. They were battling. They were like down in 17th or something like that.
16th or something like that.
And what Emery has done last season and following on through this season, I'm looking forward to see. I hope it's not another Newcastle situation. I'm looking forward to see. I know they're going to get a tough group, but I'm looking forward to see what he does.
Well, remember, it's not group stage anymore. It's league format.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Format changes,
right.
So.
But yeah, I think what he's done with Villa has been tremendous. Yes, they didn't end the season particularly well, but, season's 38 games, and over those 38 games, he's been fantastic. That's why I didn't think, yes, City won an unprecedented fourth in a row for a male side in England, but to me, when you give out these awards, you have to look at the impact on the side, on the league, and I think Unai Emery deserves it, so he's my manager of the year.
Okay. Well, I would like to get to Arteta. For the simple fact that Arsenal did not win anything, and I didn't want to leave it anything. But
that's so cute. Give him a trophy.
I'm not going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I said I would like to. I said I will. Okay. So no, they haven't won anything. I don't want to leave them empty-handed.
We give them a lot of shots in team season though.
Fair enough. But yes, but I'm not going to give it to Arteta. Unai Emery definitely deserves consideration. I would give it that. But my manager this season is Pep. I think that yes, I understand everything you said is valid. Should think about the impact on a team, for example, different things like that. But Pep did something that hasn't been done before ever.
True.
And there have been some great teams in the English game.
True.
You had the Liverpool team from the 70s and 80s. You had United under Ferguson in the 90s and the noughties, for example. You had Wenger's Arsenal. Jose's Chelsea. None of them managed to win 4 in a row, which shows you how difficult it is to do. So, 115 charges aside, I believe that, you don't know. I just believe that, it deserves to be acknowledged. So I will give Pep the manager of the year. And I think, honestly, my precedent is that I would generally kind of give the manager of the year to the manager of the team that wins the league.
Okay,
so if I don't want to take it off of Pep, somebody else in the league next year. All right, so it's been a fun show. Anything else you want to touch on before we wrap up?
Nothing really. I think we've covered it all. We definitely have a big summer coming up, so we have to just do some thoughts on more ourselves to see how we're going to balance Euros and cricket, because cricket is starting. We have our tickets.
Yes, we do.
Marissa went through hell to get them.
We
I have not received the thanks yet, but
yes, you did.
Anyways,
your thanks was in me repaying you back for the tickets. I sent that money. I sent you back that money the same day.
That's what you think it's about. Blood, sweat, tears, everything on May 2nd.
I thought you would have said hunger.
Tickets.
She was in the lane that long. I thought you would have said hunger. I thought it was going there first.
Hunger too.
I didn't say maybe sweat, but I didn't say any blood.
Oh, whatever. But anyways, we're very excited about the next few weeks. The next month is going to be great. And we're definitely going to still be delivering content. We just got to decide how we're going to go about it because we want to cover both Euros and cricket. It's a home World Cup after all. We have to cover it. But yeah, we're looking forward to see if we can be consistent. Work schedules, personal schedules permitting and all. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah. Want to give a special thank you to our sponsors, Spirit Studios.
Yes.
And we also want to thank Whole Health Pharmacy.
Yes.
Right. For supporting us. We want to thank you, the viewer. Those of you who have subscribed. And again, if you enjoyed this video, if you've enjoyed our episode, please, don't hesitate to subscribe as well. You can follow me at Drew9106. I'm Marissa at
Marissa Simone91.
And remind people of the Instagram handle again.
The Dugout_podcast.
All right. Good. So, yes, thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you next time.